Coming up, a former president is running again. And later, Russian missiles cross over into Poland.
Can Iowa bring back the Floyd of Rosedale one more time?
Early morning snow may impact your morning commute.
This is DITV News at 8:30. Good morning, and thank you for tuning in live to DITV and KRUI 89.7 FM. I'm Ashely Weil. Now, Samantha, it was snowing like crazy on my way here into work. What's it looking like outside now?
Well, Ashley, I am live outside the Pentacrest right now, and it is currently 27 degrees outside, and the snow is coming down. Johnson County is in a special weather statement this morning where the light snow is causing the pavement to be wet and slippery. The roads are nearly covered in snow, and it's advised to be cautious while you're driving to work this morning. Today, it is going to be a cloudy 31 degrees, and as we head into nighttime, we're looking at a shivering 21 degrees. And Thursday, we're going to see a temp of 31 degrees and partly cloudy skies. This week, Friday is going to have highs in the mid-20s and lows in the upper teens. Heading into the weekend, Saturday is sitting at highs in the 20s and in the low teens again. Heading into the holiday weekend, Sunday we see some sunshine with highs in the 40s and lows in the 20s. Mondays is high in the 40s with lows in the 20s with more partly cloudy skies. Tuesday will finally be warmer with highs in the 40s and lows in the upper 30s. As our first snow fell, we can say the winter has finally showed up. Adapting to the cold weather can be difficult. The Weather Channel gave us tips yesterday on how to teach our bodies to adapt to this cold, frigid weather. Most adults hold heat in the back of their neck and upper spine, and that's why wearing a scarf is one of your best options for keeping warm this winter. Having your heat up in the winter may not be your best bet. Your body feels more comfortable in colder weathered if your house temperature is also cooler. More extreme suggestions are fewer layers outside and taking cold showers to get you through these long winter months. Back to you, Ashley.
Thanks, Samantha. And former President Donald Trump announced last night that he is running for his second term. He announced his 2024 presidential campaign at his Florida home, Mar-a-Lago. His long-awaited announcement comes after an underwhelming midterm election for the Republicans. Trump hopes his second campaign will help deter any other Republican primary candidates. However, he is expected to be challenged by many conservative Republicans. And Russia hit Ukraine's energy facilities yesterday with around 85 missiles. This is the greatest number of missiles yet used by Russia. This caused widespread blackouts, and according to a U.S. official, missiles crossed borders into Poland and has left 2 people dead. Poland is a member of NATO, and the U.S. is still investigating the reports. It is unclear if the missiles that entered Poland were by accident or if they were targeted. The Ukrainian president is
When it comes to our security commitments and Article 5, we've been crystal clear that we will defend every inch of NATO territory.
The Ukrainian president is still staying positive and said that he and his country can survive anything. And this month signifies Native American Heritage Month. The University of Iowa has and continues to host events through the Latin Native American Cultural Center. Today, they will host an event titled Let's Get Physical, Lacrosse and Its History. The month was first celebrated in 1916 in New York, but in 1990, President George H.W. Bush established the month-long celebration. The aim is to show the culture of Native people and honor the injustices the Native American and Indigenous people have suffered. And UIHC has partnered with the Iowa Attorney General's office to help with opioid disorder treatment. UIHC received $3.8 million of some of the opioid settlements to help expand their work.
This clinic is really a jewel. We've been over there. Attorney General Miller has been to see the clinic, and they're really doing great work. for people with opioid use disorder.
With this money, they have hired more staff and are training medical providers across Iowa in practices for providing treatment.
The idea behind this is that opioid use disorder is a disease. There's a real need for this sort of treatment across the state, and so that's why we're partnering with UIHC to do so.
There is also a new website to help. IowaOpioidHelp.com was also launched by the Iowa Attorney General's office. The website provides those in need with a list of providers across the state that will take patients regardless of their ability to pay, many of which provide methadone, which is prescribed to help patients in recovery. A main goal of the website is to reduce the stigma surrounding opioid use disorder, especially after Iowa has seen a 21% increase in opioid overdoses since 2020. And the possibility of an AMTRACK train connecting Iowa City and Chicago could be sooner than expected. Many university students, staff, and Iowa City officials are pushing for the economic benefits, convenience, and additional opportunities. About 35% of UI students are from Illinois, and many students use the big city as a weekend trip hotspot. The project is not yet guaranteed yet, but the idea has been in the works for almost a decade. In October, the Iowa City City Council approved a $475,000 purchase of 3 residential properties near the Iowa Interstate Railroad rail yard and Oak Grove Park to make room for a potential Iowa City-Chicago AMTRACK route. And this is just one step out of several more that must be taken before this idea becomes a reality. And a taste of Hollywood is coming to Iowa City next semester, and this will take place at the Stanley Museum of Art. A new course called Adaptation for Television will be taught by Hollywood screenwriter Josh Parkinson. The writing course will mirror a Hollywood writer's room with only 6 students enrolled in the class. The course will involve transforming an existing piece of work into a 3 to 4 episode miniseries. Parkinson has over a decade of experience working on shows including Eastbound and Down and Terror. Parkinson said that he liked that the class was more experimental rather than designed with a lecture format. And a new Mexican restaurant and tequila bar is coming to Iowa City. Koa Cantina opened in Des Moines in 2020 and is expanding to its 2nd location. We have Daily Iowa News reporter Maddie Willis live in the newsroom with more. Maddie, what can we expect from this new restaurant?
Yeah, Ashley, we can expect Koa Cantina to be open 2nd semester next year. Its expected opening date is January 2023. In a sneak peek at the new restaurant, I was able to get a glimpse of the 2-floor layout. There's a bar and a DJ booth on each floor. And Nancy Bird, the executive director of Iowa City's downtown district, said to me that Koa Cantina will fit in perfectly here.
And Brian Rohrs, who's one of the owners of Koa Cantina, said that he has had success with other bars in Iowa City. How will this carry over to his new restaurant on Clinton Street?
According to Rohrs, Iowa City does not have anything like Koa Cantina. It will be Iowa City's first tequila bar, and it has already had great success and is known as the finest tequila bar in Des Moines. Back to you, Ashley.
Thanks, Maddie. And the University of Iowa is developing new technology for use during radiology. Interventional radiologist Sandeep Laroya developed technology that will use artificial intelligence to help identify patients' illnesses and recommend the proper treatment. The technology was developed to replace labor and help keep people healthy during an employee shortage. Laroya said it will, quote, free up the manpower to do things machines can't do, end quote. Laroya is working with others to try and get the technology on the market. And NASA is heading back to space. Early this morning, Artemis 1 launched from the Kennedy Space Center, lighting up the night sky. The rocket will orbit the moon for 6 days before returning back to Earth. The launch is the first step to land humans on the moon since the Apollo program ended in 1972. The rocket sprung a fuel leak before the takeoff, resulting in the, quote, red crew being called in. This launch was much anticipated after being delayed several times. The system was created in 2010, but the vehicle has never flown until now. And now let's send it over to DITV Sports with Michael Merrick.
Ashely. With snow comes hot chocolate, cookies, and for the Iowa football team, snowball fights during practice.
Actually, in our warm-up line, I got pelted by all of our D linemen because we run across them. Joe Evans, Lucas Van Ness, Logan Lee, and YA pelted me right in the stomach, so I'll have to get them back.
He's just talking. Warm-up line, my whole defensive line, there's like 5 of us. He's the lead of his warm-up line, and we threw like 5 snowballs at him consecutively. So they're always messing around, never on task. So.
But it's not all fun and games this week, as the Hawkeye defense will be going up against another stellar run game, which seems to be a common theme for the Hawks this season. Iowa has already taken on 2 of the top 5 running backs in all of college football, in Chase Brown and Blake Corum, as well as Braylon Allen just last weekend, who ranks 4th in the Big Ten Conference. And this weekend, they will be taking on the man who leads the nation in touchdowns.
Our conference is full of really good backs right now. It just seems like everywhere you turn, there's some really exceptional backs, and Minnesota's backs, probably the most proven veteran of the group. And
despite all the star running backs in the Big Ten, Minnesota's Mo Ibrahim ranks 5th in the nation in rushing yards. And it won't get any easier next weekend, as Nebraska's running back Anthony Grant ranks 5th in the Big Ten in rushing yards. So by the end of the season, Iowa will have played all 5 of the best running backs in the conference, as well as 3 of the top 5 in the nation. If Iowa wants their chance to return to Indy and repeat as Big Ten West champs, they will have to figure out a way to contain Minnesota and Nebraska's ground game. And the Iowa men's basketball team is traveling to South Orange, New Jersey tonight for their first real test of the season as they take on the Seton Hall Pirates. Both teams are currently 2-0, but neither have played a Power 5 opponent. With Iowa's best win this season coming over Bethune-Cookman and Seton Hall's coming over St. Peter's. Basketball fans may remember the Peacocks from their Cinderella run in last year's March Madness tournament, where they reached the Elite 8 with new Seton Hall head coach Shaheen Holloway.
Yeah, I've known Shaheen a long time. I mean, coached against him, saw him play in high school. I mean, he wasn't good. He was great.
This game is part of the 8-game Gavitt tip-off series where the Big Ten takes on the Big East. Tip-off is set for 6:20 p.m. and Hawkeye fans can catch the game on FS1. And the Iowa women's basketball team is also taking the road as they head to Kansas to take on the Kansas State Wildcats this Thursday. Both teams head into the game hoping to keep their undefeated streaks alive, with the Hawkeyes starting out at 3-0 and the Wildcats at 2-0. The star players Monica Sonano and Caitlin Clark look to lead the Hawks to their 4th victory of the season. Sonano also looks to continue her hot streak after winning Big Ten Women's Player of the Week after her 36-point 11-rebound performance against the Drake Bulldogs. However, the Wildcats will be no easy task as they are led by senior guard Gabby Gregory, who leads the team in points per game with 22 points while shooting 50% from the field and 40% from downtown. If the Hawkeyes want to stay undefeated, they will have to stop the Wildcats' star guard. Tip-off for the game is scheduled for 8 p.m. And the Iowa men's wrestling team beat the Cal Baptist Lancers by a score of 42-3 this past Sunday. And now the Hawkeyes hit the road for the first time.
With new talent comes new surprises, and the veteran Hawkeyes have seen it all too well.
We got a lot of young guys, and I think they're doing good. They're working hard. Drake Rhodes looked really good. Just comes straight to my head. He looked really good in the duel. I just think, we just got a bigger group of like-minded individuals. It's awesome.
The team heads into a 3-match weekend in New York, facing off against West Point, Sacred Heart, and Buffalo. But for the Hawkeyes, one of their wrestlers already has some previous history with the state.
Right now, Army's up first, then Sacred Heart and Buffalo. I have no idea which order is which there. And then we'll get to the All-Star meet when we get there. West Point will be a cool experience. Most people don't know this. Abe Assad was committed there before Iowa, so give him a little bit of going to his alma mater. So looking forward to it.
Soon we're going to see if the Hawkeyes can take 3 more W's in the Big Apple. From the University of Iowa, Aiden Wirtz, DITV Sports.
Come back Friday for all the latest on everything Hawkeye sports. Now back to you, Ashely.
Thanks, Michael, and thank you for tuning in to DITV News. I'm Ashely Weil. Have a great day.
We planned for 13:37. It was 13:37 when I left last night.